Apex 289 Bunkhouse here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This is an ultralight, comes in 5,965 pounds. So, you know, everything Apex makes, they try to target for 6,000 pounds or less. I think there's maybe one floor plan that might be an exception there. This is awesome because this has a awesome private rear bunkhouse on a trailer that is just built right. We don't have Apex problems, and that's my #1 favorite thing about them. You can say all you want about bells, whistles, widgets, and whiz bangs, but if they don't perform, then they're junk. And this is not one of those. Our techs have reported that these things come in clean from the factory. When we go through pre-checks and final checks, they come out clean. That's the best thing we could ever ask. We've got a full automotive painted nose cap. That's a nice feature here because it has just a sweet, awesome look to it. But being automotive painted, this is not going to sun fade any worse than your car would, you know. A lot of trailers in the 2012-2013 period, they went to these dark nose caps and they were sun fading real bad because they weren't painting, weren't applying proper UV inhibitors. That's not the problem here. Power tongue jack, power awning with LED lighting, easy swap 20-pound propane tanks, things you'd expect on a lightweight trailer, but this is neat. I have a tongue mounted spare tire. That helps for load equalization. It also leaves the rear bumper wide open for bike racks. Now, if you look through here, a couple things, you see they have an extra wide baggage door, so you can actually put in those cool folding chairs. They use nicer magnetic latches as part of the, I think, Summit package, and just easy bus style slam latches. So this is a true one-hand baggage door that's just, you know, easier, nicer to operate. Their slide walls are a little different. At a glance, they look the same, but when you look close and let the camera focus, you see it's got this real rough graininess to it. This is a seal gripping slide wall. It pulls that seal as tight as it possibly can, and if you notice, there's actually a double seal system in place on Apex slides so that it is always sealed, whether it's going in, going out, or all the way in or all the way out. Two different types of window systems here. Keep in mind, the trailer that we keep in stock might be equipped a little different from this video. This is pretty commonly how we bring them in. Frameless windows on sidewalls, sliding windows on the slide walls. The reason we do that, these look great, and they're as close, like the window pane's UV tinted, obviously, we can't see in it. So that protects the seals because you've got a UV tinted pane protecting that. The other thing is, being frameless, there is no frame to get discolored over time. However, these don't get as good of airflow as those, and these can pivot open to be used in the rain, those can't. So they do different stuff. On sidewalls here, of the sides of the windows, that's where you get your really good airflow, and that's why you want those there. Not to mention, if you had this type of window that opens in a jealousy fashion on the side of a slide and closed your slide, you'd crush it, and that would be bad. So moving past here, little black tank flush hookup. I'm not gonna spend too much time looking at the utilities of this. That's something probably better served for just visiting a trailer in person, but don't hesitate to call. We you know, we are an easy place to work with. I love the location of their outside shower here, right on that back corner, because it's right next to the outside kitchen. So in a sense, it can kind of work as your faucet, even though you do have a faucet there. But this is just a good spot to have it for campsite use. Now, and just little stuff is what excites me, because so many trailers do so many similar things. Just the better bumper caps so that those caps don't fall out, that's a real common thing actually. Spending a couple extra bucks on that, it does add up. Now the outside kitchen here, they have set up a little bit differently. They leave this countertop area here wide open for just general utilities and appliances, but they can do that because they don't have to eat up the space with the grill. This is a free floating high output Coleman camp grill. So if it just feeds off those little 1-pound bottles you get at the camp store. If you want to set that out here, you can. If you don't want to, now you don't need to. Now we actually have countertop and prep space. This is not the fanciest sink in the world. It's what I call the dog bowl kind, but you know what? It is pretty big. So you can actually, you know, keep a lot of water in there. You can actually do some dishes, and then what you do, you get this full of water, and you dump it on the kids. Outdoor fridge here so that we can, you know, keep the kids from coming in and out all the time to, you know, keep the dirt minimized that we track inside the trailer. Once again, the nicer magnetic latches are super nice here so that they just stay up and out of the way. You see the power awning. This does have a full-length LED light strip that, once again, I forgot to turn on. I have just developed a terrible habit for that. But as we're looking down, we do see some nice-looking aluminum wheels down here. Outside TV hookup station, by the way, for good entertainment. Not all lightweights ventilate their stovetop outside. That means that not all lightweights are exhausting heat when you're cooking. That's an important thing. bigger, wider entry handle here that folds down. Not uncommon in the world, but it is a nice feature I like to point out because it is not standard. A lot of lightweights are double steps to save money. Apex puts a triple step on here. It's just something that's gonna make it easier to come and go. Now the door is strutted so that it doesn't get caught by the wind and slam shut, and that means that it's never going to block that window or anything like that. The Coachmen family lightweights are made with Asdel on the sidewalls. That's this white stuff right here once the camera focuses it in. That's what's under the fiberglass. It's made of it's a composite resin that is mostly melted pop bottles. So it's lighter than Luan that's normally under the skin. It's waterproof, mold proof, mildew proof, has a higher R factor. You know, this 1.5-inch lightweight wall has the same R factors as a 2-inch non-lightweight wall. That is a big deal. Not to mention the fact that that, plus the enclosed heated underbelly down here, makes for a really nice 1-2 punch for extended season camping. That's not 4 seasons camping. Those are not the same things. Zero lightweights are 4 seasons rated. I can explain that in more detail. Just give me a call. So interior decors can vary. Obviously, this is called Latte. This has the which is a perfect name for it because it kind of has these little coffee swirls in it. Very good looking interior. It's one of my favorites. I prefer darker leatherette materials for bunkhouses because they don't tend to show wear and tear as well when the kids come and go. I prefer lighter stuff for couples campers, but my opinion may not be the same as yours. It's your money. Do what you want with it. I'm just here to give you ideas. So this is a 100% laminated product. The roof, full walk-on, full laminated. You can pound on the sidewalls the same way. The slide-outs the same way. Roof, floor, everything on this fully laminated. Now the front wall, pardon me, front wall is not laminated, but it is fully aluminum skeletoned with that nose cap over top of it. We have upgraded this to a full trifold memory foam sleeper sofa, so that can open into like a queen, basically. Very nice, and it's very easy to set up. It only takes a few seconds, and it does have its own little pocket down there to keep your extra blankets tucked away. Speaking of blankets, Apex gives you, instead of pillows, they give you this awesome fleece blanket. And people like those so much, we've had them come up missing on our lot, which normally I'd be offended by, but from a decor standpoint, I'd say that means that Apex won. They did their job. The dinette over here can obviously fold down into a sleeper. You see the easy access storage below the dinette with that door open there. Now this is very cool. All countertops, even the countertop of the outside kitchen outside, are a sealed edge. They're pressed membrane, waterproof. If you set an iced tea or a soda pop or something on there and it sweats and that sweat dribbles, it can't damage the countertop. That's just not going to happen. Now, shop around, guys. You're going to find not all lightweights have windows on sidewalls, nor do they all open for airflow. You want those things. This one has them. And if you listen, we've got the nicer, you know, materials in use here. Instead of press board, we're looking at like real wood fascia. Little stuff like that makes a difference. I always forget to show this in Apexes, and they almost all have them. Gigantic shoe garage right when you walk in the door. That keeps your shoes from being in this big, ugly, dirty pile by the door, which is a perfect place to slip, fall, and trip and bash your face on the ground, in case you were curious. Obviously not a fun day at the park. Park, get it? Camping? Never mind. So central air, LED lighting, you know, everything you need for good summertime camping. Bathroom here, you know, pretty rank and file, but they did some nice little touches. We got a foot flush stool. I like how they leave this open. It's a perfect spot to keep your extra marine tissues and stuff like that. GFI protected, ground fault protected outlets, so you can run, you know, blow dryers here without worry of accidentally electrocuting yourself, because that's also not a fun day at the park. And a big skylight here in the shower so that you don't need to run your lights all the time. As we come back to the private bunkhouse or second living room or whatever you want to think of it, because it can kind of double as different things, you see that this could be hanging storage, but it's large enough you could also use it as pantry or linen space. They even include a couple dresser drawers down here, which is awesome. Being this close to the kids' room, you can have you know, socks and underwear drawers and stuff like that for the kids. Things like that are just so handy. We do have a privacy door, so we can shut the kids back here on a rainy day. We can tell them don't come out unless you need the bathroom or you're hungry. Mom and dad can have a sanity room while the kids are back here doing whatever. It doesn't matter. It's out of sight, it's out of mind. As long as nobody's bleeding, we're probably gonna be okay. So what is neat about this is As opposed to a traditional quad bunk, which is 2 bunks on this side of the trailer and 2 bunks over there, we actually have an awesome like second living room thing going on here. You see that the overhead bunk here folds up out of the way. Now when that folds down, keep in mind this is a full 8-foot wide bunk. That is awesome. So if you've got the really tall kids, this is your floor plan for sure. If you start looking at detail stuff, you're just going to see better materials. Like this is 5/8 tongue groove plywood that they're using here. That's like, you know, your floor. They don't use the cheaper stuff. Everything's aluminum skeleton where it's wood. It's real good quality wood, not particle board. You know, that's the kind of stuff you can get in some other brands. If you'd like me to drop some names, give me a call. I'm not opposed to, but that's not what this video is about. You know, the 2 bunks, but I like how they gave just a little privacy headboard right there. That is a nice little touch. I've not seen that done anywhere else before. Not a major thing, but little things are the defining qualities of RVs. So that bed obviously stays up with that strut. The sofa can jackknife down. I like the extra little outlets here to keep the kids' gadgets fired up. Over here we have a fantastic entertainment and storage center for, again, dedicated to either a rear second living room, bedroom, bunkhouse, man cave, whatever you want it to be. And of course we still have a privacy door here. Now what's neat is with the bathroom right next to this, kids can come and go all night if they got to get up and down and use the potty and not disturb mom and dad. We've talked mostly about the slide here. We talked about the sealed edge countertops. What am I missing? Oh, a little kitchen. We haven't talked about the kitchen really. Good overhead storage up here, and I love that indirect LED light. Just something to liven it up in here, and that would be a really nice night light too. The sink. This is a stone cast sink. I really like this because it's not the cheap plastic or composite sink that tends to be in a lot of other brands. It's a lot nicer. It's far more impact resistant. You know, technically in a stainless steel sink, if you drop it, you could dent it up. This is insanely impact resistant, and it's heat resistant. If you're boiling hot water, if you're making the kids mac and cheese, or I don't know, boiling hot dogs, or whatever you do when you're camping, you can just pour boiling water in here, no problem. Big high-rise faucet with a sprayer top over here. Extra storage everywhere they could afford to put it, and I like the triple drawers down here, so you actually have good space for your, you know, utensils, forks, spoons, knives, whatnot. Just like the kids, mom and dad also get a nice private front bedroom with these nice sliding doors. TV does spin, so that can spin around to face mom and dad. That is you could not put a bigger TV in there. They measured that well. Holy cow. And that goes along well with the AM, FM, CD, DVD, Bluetooth system down here. Does just about everything. And this is something Apex is awesome for. The family phone charging center. They understand that times are a-changin'. And though camping is a good time to unplug and disconnect, we're probably still going to all bring our phones with us. So here's the perfect place to have it charged and plugged in so that we don't have to gripe about who's using what power outlets and Jimmy's hogging the plugs and stuff like that. Jimmy always hogs the plugs. If your name's Jimmy, you probably hog the plugs, first of all, but secondly, any similarities or likenesses to actual people are purely coincidental. So this is neat too. We have a recessed headboard up here, and that also has little charging outlets over there. That's got its own pair of USB plugs, so mom and dad can have their own dedicated place to keep the phones charged and up here as well. Now, this stereo has like a 30-yard range, so if you're Bluetooth and music, you can be at the neighbor's campsite 3 doors down and not lose connectivity with it. It is pretty slick that way. And just little stuff like, I like how they mounted the wardrobes on a bias here. They put it on a little bit of an angle just to help reflect that light around. It makes the bedroom up front look a little bit bigger, nicer. All in all, this is just a fantastic floor plan. It's got, if you like the 300 BHS Apex, or if you like those big double slide outside kitchen bunkhouses, this is an awesome alternative. Where those things can weigh 8,300 to 8,500 pounds, this weighs less than 6,000 pounds. This is something you can very easily tow with your half-ton, take the family camping, and have a real good time doing it. Everyone still gets privacy. We still get an outside kitchen. We get a great slide, great entertainment. It does it all. Give us a call, 800-256-5196. Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Take care, stay safe, happy camping, everybody.